In this video, I will talk about A.L. Kennedy's short stories from the collection What Becomes that was published in 2009. The major theme that Kennedy explores in this short story collection is what becomes of the broken-hearted, as some of the critics mentioned. Kennedy reveals the various forms of pain, aggression, longing, and grief of dysfunctional urban relationships, but also powerfully expresses her genuine belief in the redemption of love by portraying almost forgotten and thus quite unexpected instances of authentic human compassion among predominantly alienated, self-obsessed modern city dwellers. The first story that I'm going to mention here is Edinburgh. In this story, Kennedy questions the prevalent consumerist tendencies by portraying Peter, the manager of the organic products shop. The author's ambivalent attitude towards the new fashionable wave of healthy lifestyle, characterized by the omnipresent emphasis on proper nutritional habits and constant physical workout, as opposed to the wholesale chains of fast food shops and unhealthy pace of life in modern urban spaces, is further represented through Peter's personal habits. Though a manager in the organic product shop, Peter rejects his own goods in favor of powdered nutritional drinks, among which the variety called Nothing is his personal favorite. His nihilistic attitude to currently trendy tendencies is also depicted in his cynical conduct towards the customers, because he can see through their appearances of genuine interest in global environmental issues and perceives them as they really are, as the people who artificially apply this healthy lifestyle because it is trendy, it is currently popular. So what happens to him is this miraculous transformation when, on an ordinary work day, when, as Kennedy says, he could simply hear himself dying and do the job that is supposed to pass his time, among the usual uninteresting bunch of customers, Amanda, made of something different, appears. So he falls in love with her, and then Kennedy portrays this transformative and regenerative power of love, or human affection in general, as a sort of a valid alternative to the futility of sporadic sexual affairs and consumerist ethics in the modern society. Although this is sort of relationship where that depicts, an older guy and a really young and inexperienced girl, the focus on of this story is on love and its transformative power. Once this relationship is ended, Peter has this final outburst in the story. This is an outburst of personal loneliness, existential meaninglessness, and he feels somewhat ashamed because all the other people notice this great difference that in him. They spotted that for the very first time in his life he was basically living here, and he says he experienced for the very first time in his life what it meant to be well, to be with her. So basically Kennedy says that life without love is not worth living. It is living and partly living, as T.S. Eliot would say. The other story that I somehow read together with Edinburgh is A Marriage, also by Kennedy. in this story, Kennedy depicts yet another dysfunctional relationship. It is a story that is told on the move. The husband and wife, they roam about city streets. The city is unspecified, and they roam about this unspecified city separately. And at first, we as readers are exposed to this quite interesting and puzzling situation, and we are even somehow invited to accuse the wife of this remoteness between the spouses. But then, in one sentence, Kennedy depicts the reason for this strange or awkward behavior on the part of this wife, this woman: domestic violence. Mm, so she says, and to be fair, he really hit her in the face. It isn't something she would expect, which is why she had to be so awkward about today. Again, this story ends in the outburst on the part of the woman. She is torn apart when she sees the workers that are performing their duties in this really awkward and cold Scottish climate, and her husband comes to her and embraces her, and he becomes quite aware of this fake romantic impression that the two of them would leave to the southern passers-by. They will be admired as a romantic couple, but no one will basically be aware, or no one could probe into the core of their marriage. So, although this old-fashioned romantic ideal of marriage has lost its status in contemporary urban realities, Kennedy offers a calming but insubstantial insight into the healing power of genuine human affection. In this case, she portrays how even the utmost travesty of this ideal can still provoke an emotional response. This completely false impression would probably convince a southern passerby that in modern urban spaces, genuine human bonding is still an attainable possibility, which is an ambivalent effect that Kennedy creates on purpose in her short stories.